I don't know, my husband would have had to take time off. We would have been struggling to try to find, the finances to cover the trip. And I thank God every day for that moment. For so many more moments in between, but for that moment in particular right now is what I'm thankful for. That I didn't have to say to my husband, we can't afford it. We can't afford for you to go and be with your mom. And I was able to fly my earlier than they were planned. And those moments are why I will never give up this company, this, I don't know, me, it wouldn't change anything about it, about my love for this company or my desire to be a part of it. The people that I've met, like Bethany, when I told her about this, the first thing she said was, what can I do for you? How can I help? And she said, if you're comfortable with it, add me to your team page and I will be there. And she was. She jumped right in and she offered all kinds of help to our team. I know people were messaging her, and I can't thank her enough for that. So for those of you that are under Bethany, you have an amazing leader. I really hope you know that. She truly cares about people. So now that I've cried, I hope that you guys see this company for what it is. It's a life changer. It is giving opportunity, and it isn't really so much, it's about the money, but it's about those moments that you can never get back, that will never happen again. Once they're missed forever. So if you're struggling, put that aside and know that you are here for a reason. Whatever that is, whatever is going on in your life, God has brought you here for a reason. And I pray that you don't give up on that, that you keep going, because 4 years into it, that's where it brought us, was to that moment. And it was all worth it. All of the pain, all of the struggling, all of the tears, all of the, all the crazy late night phone calls, people needing wraps at 12:30 in the morning. Who needs wraps at 12:30 in the morning? But all those moments led up to this. So if you're having a hard time, if you're struggling right now, trust me, I know what it's like. And I came, when we started, I was on public aid. We were losing our public aid benefits because of my husband being deployed. And so we were on food stamps. We were on state aid. We had all that stuff. So I know what it's like. But I just encourage you not to give up. Don't stop what you're doing. And that's all I have to say. I could go on.
Right. There's so much amazing about what we do and what it does for our families and for others that we really could go on and just tell our story for 3 forevers. But a real quick rundown of my story for those of you who don't know me. Bethany Dearborn. I've been here for 4.5 years. I joined in March of 2012. Golly, that's a long time. Except for taking care of my children, this is the only thing I've ever done for this long. And I can't get rid of my kids, can't quit my kids. But I started It Works because, let me back up a little bit. The day before I had my first son, at 5'2", I was 4'11" around. I was so big that some of my stretch marks split and bled. My skin gave up. It was like, tap out, I'm done. And so for a long time, I felt like I would never be normal. I was not one that had a baby and then went into a bikini on the beach and loved my tummy. I don't know, moms, it looked like this sagging, deflated balloon hanging off the front of my body. And I struggled for a long time with the thought that I would never be normal again. It was very much a hit to my self-esteem. The weight gain that went with pregnancy was just ridiculous. I'm an emotional eater. At the time, I also suffered from migraines. I eat when I'm in pain. And so the emotions, the pain, all of that drove me up to 215 pounds and a size 22, 24. And I remember looking in the mirror one day, not really sure who I was, fell in love with doing it the right way after years of fad diets, pills. I was bulimic for a while. After all those years of doing it the wrong way, I finally had a come to Jesus meeting and realized I needed to move more and eat the right foods. So I did, and lost about 40 pounds on my own. Fell head over heels in love with health and fitness, decided I wanted to become a personal trainer, which I did. Totally out of character for me. I did not realize I would have adult onset athletic disorder, but I love it. And so I became a trainer, and it was shortly after that I saw this ridiculous rap come across my Facebook newsfeed. And in the meantime, all of that time I was trying to lose weight, I was also trying to make money because I don't like being broke. And that took me through 9 businesses before this one. If it's out there, I've probably looked at it. And it sounds like I tried them all. But what I realize now looking back is that God was teaching me things in all of those places that I needed to know for this. And part of that is the good, the bad, and the ugly in this industry that we work in. But anyway, so I was at this point where I had lost weight, but my stomach wasn't normal. I wanted to be a trainer, and I wanted to help people get healthy, but I also have this ridiculous passion for not being broke. I don't know about anybody else, but and so my sister-in-law posted this picture on Facebook because she had gone to this stupid rap party, and before and after, and she was starting her business. And holy wall, guys, if I did not jump on that, but not for the reasons you think. I flew to the computer and I started researching like a crazy person just so I could tell Holly how stupid she was. I needed to be able to tell her it wasn't healthy. I needed to be able to tell her it wasn't legit. Horrible person, and I've confessed it to her, and Jesus still loves me. But all of that research took me to this phenomenal information proving it works. The company works, the money works. It's all real. And so this person who thought no affordable solution existed to help my stomach, and a legitimate business that actually pays people what they're worth, are all wrapped up in the same thing. I flew out of the bedroom screaming at my husband, I need $99. You know what? I may have even fibbed to him and told him it was $50, but either way, we didn't have it because we were so beyond broke. I needed $99. Why? What do you need $99 for? And I was like, because I'm fitting to go make us millionaires. And he looked at me dead in the face and he's like, again? Because I had tried 9 times before, right? So I am here because the rap means hope to someone like me, someone who is suicidal because your skin hangs off the front of your body, not as God intended. It means hope to someone like me who didn't know where you were going to find 59 cents to go buy a box of macaroni and cheese to feed the kids. I have 3 boys. The 2 youngest are 9 months and 3 weeks apart. there was a lot of stress in our house when we were broke. And, I started this business to retire Brian, and 4 years in, he won't let his job go because he's too pragmatic. And if we were home together, we would kill each other. But he didn't have to retire for me to get my husband back. He laughs again and he smiles again, and he's not nearly as stressed out as he was 5 years ago before I started this. So, that is why I'm here. That is why I love what I do, because that wrap, it's hope to people, guys. If you don't believe that, when you look at that wrap and you look at those bliss cards, you're missing something, and you need get with somebody who can talk you through it. But that wrap is hope. So, I blabbed a little bit longer than I expected, but, I've had a lot of, nitty gritty time now that you kind of know who we are. I posted that video today, on very similar video on both pages, so you guys kind of know where I'm coming from if you watched it. But a lot of my team messaged me after that video and asked if we could talk about tips for relaunching the business and sort of how to break down a schedule for what tasks a distributor needs to be doing every single week. I know I struggle with that because there are some parts that I love and some parts that I don't. And just like in the gym, I tend to just kind of ignore the parts I don't like, until I got really serious about getting results. And then, I'm like, okay, let's do the dang thing. But, and so now I think we're all at that point where it's time to do the dang thing. Let's figure out what it is that we're not doing, that we need to be doing, and let's work on that. Get a schedule and be intentional. So what sort of things, I guess Dana or any of the leaders that are on here, you guys can unmute and kind of throw us one or two. What do you feel like needs to happen every single week? Let's talk about that.
Like, what do we do on a weekly basis?
Yeah.
You should always know what you're working towards. You should have a chart posted in front of you. You can update it daily or weekly or every Sunday or whatever, but you always should know what you're working for. So you shouldn't have, if I come to you and I say, okay, well, what do you need to be at your next rank? You should be able to look at your chart and say it. I have a chart that I update daily. Because I know what I'm working towards. So if you don't know what you're working towards, how are you ever going to get there? So you have to have, whether it's a piece of paper that you drew your own chart, or I have a notebook that I carry around. And that notebook, I have had one for every rank that I've been so far. Just FYI, it started, well, not executive, but right around Emerald, I started writing in different notes. If I was on a call and I heard something that was really inspiring, charts, and those get erased and rewritten hundreds of times. So don't think, which is why I use a pencil. Because they're always changing. Now I have one that's like a 5-subject notebook, and my team, most of you have seen my notebook. I've held it up and showed it to you guys. And I have all kinds of different stuff in there. But you should know what you're working on. Have your hundreds list. Those are important things. And they should be updated at least weekly, if not daily.
Agreed. I know on my team, we talk a lot about like spending a good amount of time on cultivating your current relationships and creating new ones. And so this can be done If you are a social media rock star, then power hours just on your computer are going to be super effective for you. I recommend breaking it down into 15-minute increments. I know there was a couple of templates I posted, to do 1 power hour. If you work from home and you don't have another job, you can do 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening. Or if you only have time to do this when you get home, then split it up and do parts of both during 1 hour. And so you're going to, 15 minutes, you're going to be connecting with, a power hour is a 1 hour focused, intense, this is all I'm doing for 1 hour. You don't get to get up and change the laundry. You don't get to get up and reload the dishwasher. You set your timer for 15 minutes and work. When it goes off, you set it for 15 minutes again and you work on another task. And then 15 minutes and then 15 minutes. And it is proven that you can get so much more done in 1 hour of focused effort than 10 hours during the day of all over the place. And so, you can have 15 minutes for liking and commenting on, new leads that you're trying to stir up that connection with them. 15 minutes of adding new people or whatever. You're looking to 15 minutes at a time, stay focused. Other tasks, that you're going to have to do are following up with current loyal customers, building those relationships, asking for referrals, following up with current distributors, obviously prospecting for new distributors. What else? What am I leaving out? Because I left this part of my notes somewhere else.
The other thing, relationships are super important. So getting to know people, they want to feel like they're not just a dollar sign. So like Bethany said, cultivating those relationships, commenting on their stuff. I am not really strong on Instagram. I mean, I'm like an Instagram queen. I've been called other names for Instagram, but I love it, but I don't draw in business through Instagram. So I don't spend a lot of my time there. So stay in your lane. If you're not great at Instagram or Twitter, then don't go that route. If you're great at Facebook and you create these amazing Facebook posts, and stay there. If you're great on Instagram, then go over there. Don't try to do, 5 different social medias and try to be great at all of them. It's kind of like running, 2 or 3 different home businesses. You can't be great at all of them. You got to pick one and stick to it. I mean, if you're great at Instagram and Facebook together, that's amazing. I can't figure out how to make it work. But
I can't either.
I've tried all of John Eric's tips and all that stuff. I just can't get it.
Yeah, it just doesn't work with my brain.
By the time I figure it out, I'm sure there's going to be a whole new social media.
Exactly. Spend time looking for vendor events. Spend time looking for places you can go get exposure. Those are another thing you can do in your power hour. If your thing isn't social media, then you need to be thinking of ways to get your face in front of people. Get people on the phone, talk to people, spend 15 minutes making calls. Plan 15 minutes sometime during your day. This obviously wouldn't be inside your power hour, but go blitz 15 minutes, 30 minutes, something. You've got to be intentional to find ways to get your face and get your story in front of other people. Spend 15 minutes looking for party hosts. I think with all of this social media insanity, with all of these people growing uber quickly, we've started to take the focus off of how important parties are. And I know that's something I'm personally trying to get back to because that is fun for me. I love getting with people and being there when they take their wrap off. That is fun for me. So I'm getting back to that. But if you're not...
Something else. Sorry,
Go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to say something else that's really important is working on yourself. We get kind of wrapped up in finding the next person or wrapping somebody or whatever that we forget about ourselves. So it's important to read books. If your leader recommends a book to you, then maybe look it up. We talk about different books all the time. We have Bible study sometimes. Before the summer started and craziness happened, we were having Bible study once a week. So, and I want to get back to that, but it's really important for you to spend time on you and learning about yourself and developing yourself as a leader, because even if you don't have a distributor underneath of you yet, you will. And so you need to know how to lead that person. And maybe you weren't a born leader. Some people are just shy and they don't know how to talk to people, and that's okay. So it's important to learn things about yourself and watch YouTube videos, go buy books at Barnes & Noble, go to the library, however you want to find them, borrow books from your friend, but spend some time on yourself and developing who you are and learning about the leader that you want to be and you plan to be in the future. So that's just something else that's really important, because I had no clue and I got to Diamond having no idea how to be a leader. So take it from me, don't do that. Get to know who you are and work on yourself.
Know it ahead of time. That's actually really awesome. How the Lord's just laying this out for us, guys. Dana and I really didn't get to talk a lot about exactly what was going to be said here tonight. And these things she's saying are all things that were going to be brought up anyway. And we're right on the same page. And I just love that. But so to kind of sum that up before we move into part 2 here, you've got to be intentional with what you're doing. You need to figure out the things your business needs, because it's going to be a little bit different than what my business needs. It's going to be different than what Dana's business needs. Figure out what your business needs. Write it all down. These are the things that have to happen. Okay, how often do these things need to happen? Is this a daily task? Is this a weekly task? Is this a monthly thing? And then put it on your calendar. Figure out when you're going to do those things each and every day. Take the guesswork out of when it's going to happen. Because if you don't just say, this is when I'm going to do it, this is my appointment with myself, it's going to get shoved along the wayside. For those of you who work during the day and you just kind of have to squeeze this in as you go, I like to use a list I call Fab Fives, and I can send the file to Dana so she can upload it if anybody's interested. But it's basically identifying like your 5 goals for the day, and then it's a sheet you fill in. 5 goals for the day, 5 current customers I need to check in with, 5 current distributors I need to check in with, 5 leads I need to follow up with, 5 PLCs, 5 PDTs, whatever. And take 10 minutes before you go to bed at night. If you work, this is super key. Fill in all those blanks and go ahead and dig out your phone numbers for those people. Put your phone numbers on that paper. And then when you're sitting at work and you have 3 minutes, you can pull one out, shoot a quick text, check it off the list, and move on. You're prepared, so you're able to focus. When you have that split second of available time, you already know what you need to do, so you can just zip it out and do it. Okay? That one is super huge for people who work. I know a lot who have had success with that. Okay. So today I was praying about what needed to happen tonight, and I'm praying for all of the brains and the hearts that were going to be on this call, because I wanted him to bring what it is that we needed. And I ended up on a YouTube video from somebody who had just had a one-on-one conference call with Pam. And so I pulled out my pen and I got prepared to write a whole bunch of awesome. So these are some highlights for us. And Dana already touched on this first one. You have to have clear goals. You have to know what you're working for. That means you've got to have a chart. You've got to know what that next step is. And let's just talk about losing your paid as rank here for just a second. So what? Who cares? That paid as rank absolutely does not define you, and it does not determine your future success. Okay? I know it is hard when that paid as number or that paid as title changes. It is a mental battle for you. Forget it. It does not define you, and it cannot stop you from moving forward. Okay? So let's just get that out of the way. Now, if you have experienced a diminished paid as rank, you need to back up to the point where your chart is strong and move from there. If you were paid as a diamond, but now you're barely hanging on as a ruby, you need to chart that ruby, get it solid, help those people go ruby, get yourself to emerald again, strong with a new chart, okay? And then move from emerald back into diamond. You can't jump from paid as a ruby, but technically I'm a diamond. You can't chart yourself as a diamond and try to get to double, because there's only people working under you making it a ruby. Does that make sense? You've got to take a legitimate stock of where you are, chart your workers, and then take your next step from there. Okay, so you've got to have clear goals. Overall, Pam talks about you've got to have your long-term goals. Besides just what that next chart step is, why are you actually here? What is the point? Is it $300 a month? Is it $500 a month? Do you really, really want $10,000 a month, but you'll only allow yourself to save $500 a month? You need to figure out why you're actually here and get that written down and get accountable with somebody. Okay? So many times we spend most of our time in this business pulling the people that we see potential in, and we know they could be amazing, and we pour into them, which is amazing, and we need to do that, and it's one of our greatest honors as leaders. But we tend to forget our top producers. Oh, she is on it. She's got her stuff together. I can spend my time over here. Okay? But Pam stressed in this call that you've got to spend a third of your time with your top producers, connecting with them, focusing on them, helping them grow. Because if you can help your top producer blossom even more, your paycheck is going to skyrocket. Okay, and I know that was sort of a ding, ding, ding for me, because I'm like the mom helping the kid learn to ride a bike. Once you're going, I'm going to move to the next one. And I need to be a little bit more careful not to do that. So a third of our time needs to be with our top producers. And these are not the people who tell you, Dana, I want this so bad. And then they don't do anything to back it up. Okay, these are the people who are actually doing business producing activities and actually inputting people in the system. So sometimes this means you got to go dig down in your e-suite and have a look at your activity and see who's bringing in people. Okay. And Dana also talked about this one. You got to do what you love here. Stay in your lane. Do what you're good at. We've already confessed I'm not awesome at Instagram, and I'm only marginally great at Facebook. I love being around people, and I love the parties. And what we're doing right here, coaching people and teaching people, that gets me super excited. I love this. And so, again, stay in your lane, do what you love, because if you find yourself doing things just because other people are doing them and they have had success, this is going to turn into feeling very much like a job, because it's not fun. And then you're not going to wake up in the morning trying to jump into business, because it's just the same old, same old. Okay.
And you will find yourself, you'll be comparing yourself to other people, and that's not going to do you any favors. So just because your sideline sister, shot up the ranks and you guys seem to be doing the same thing, it means absolutely nothing. Just be happy for them and go about your business, because all it's going to do is further keep you down. So don't do that. We're all on our own journeys. Everyone's journey is different. So just embrace that and go with it.
Absolutely. We did have a question before we move on any farther. Getting your chart solid before moving on. For me, this is taking a good, strong look at, say I'm a diamond and I'm trying to go double. I want to take a legit look at my chart. I was only paid as an emerald last month, but I really want to go double this month. So what do? I need to look at my chart, and I'm only going to chart the workers. Now, if there's a bonus in place and we've got momentum in places, things change a little bit. But I'm struggling to maintain diamond. I barely got paid as an emerald last month, and I'm really not prepared to make a jump to double. I'm going to look at my chart. I'm only going to chart my workers. I'm not going to chart dead legs. I'm going to build a strong chart of people who want this. And then we're going to identify who's going to be an emerald, who's going to be a ruby, where are the executives, who are those going to be, and we're going to move forward from that stronger foundation. I'm not going to be grasping at straws and just keeping this person in a box because it's a name. That person's not doing anything. That name isn't doing you any good really anyway. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, if not, we can kind of talk about that after. I don't want to keep everybody too late. Okay, this was a great aha moment. You guys need to prepare yourself. It's pretty awesome. Everybody wants to double their checks, right? I mean, that's like, duh. You want to double your paycheck. Okay, are you ready? I'm fixing to blow your mind. You will not double your paycheck with your current team. This is straight out of Pam's mouth. Because in order to double your check, you need fresh blood. Your people need fresh blood. Everybody needs fresh excitement. You can't drag the people that are currently there forward. Find the people who want to run with you. Stir up that fresh energy. Y'all go find some new people. And before you know it, you're going to have this whole new amazing team that you never even knew was possible. I'm not saying you're yelling deuces out the window and just leaving everybody behind, because you got where you are because of them. But not everybody is prepared to move to the next level with you. Okay? You're not going to be able to take everybody with you. And for you to double your check, your team is going to look entirely different. And that is super exciting. something Pam pointed out and she recommended is to go back to the people who told you no when you first started. Ask them to take another look at this business. You've been in it 6 months, 3 months, a year, 4 years. Are they ready to look at this yet? It's legit. I've been cashing checks for almost 5 years, and I haven't been sad about it once. So go back to those. I mean, if you're brand new and like they told you no last week, I might wait a few days. But you get the picture. Okay, this one hit home for me again because I've had a rough go of it the last couple of months. Your team will be what you are. If you're a dud, if you're lazy, if you're struggling, your team is going to be duddy. It's going to be lazy. It's going to struggle. Those people, I mean, you've heard it said, the speed of the leader determines the speed of the pack. That goes for how hard you're working, how excited you are, what kind of fire you have, what kind of passion you're putting forward. And not only is your team going to reflect that, but you are going to attract that. If you're a dud who's struggling to love life, those are the people that are going to end up coming to you. And you're going to be like, why can I not sign my rock star? Where is my next rock star? Where's my next Dana Bodero? What the heck? You know, freaking triple diamond in 11 months makes me want to punch you in the throat. But just kidding. Just kidding. But seriously, you have got to get excited because your people will be excited and then you will attract excited people. I went to an Ashley Sinclair training last week, and one of the activities she did, this was not in my notes, so now I'm officially going over. One of the activities she did was to have you sit down and write the 3 things you are looking for in your next distributor. And I would encourage you guys to do this. We're not actually going to take time right now. But I know when I said that, you had a few ideas pop in your head. What do you want your next distributor to be? Excited, passionate, hardworking, whatever. Things popped into your head. After you write yours down, you need to take stock of that list and see if that describes you.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to build a dream team, you've got to make sure you're the first member. And to be painfully honest, the last few months for me, I have not been a dream team member. Like, you guys would have kicked me off of the dream team. But,
well, I'm right there with you.
And one thing I love about what we do is that you can start fresh anytime you want.
Yeah.
Anytime you want, you can just jump in and go with it. Okay, this one was another really big one. The moment you begin second guessing yourself, the very moment you begin second guessing yourself, you will kill your business. Holy Great Wall of China. I have spent the last year second guessing myself because of some personal things that happened inside the business. I started second guessing what I was typing. I started second guessing what I was saying. I started second guessing my motives. I started believing what other people were saying instead of listening to the truth of Christ. But I'm absolutely testament to that. I started second guessing, wondering, well, what will they think if I write this? Instead of just being me. Being me is how I got to Triple Diamond in 2 years. That was being me before I started worrying about how fast everybody else was promoting, and before I started worrying about what people thought and was I going to say the wrong thing, before there was this, what if, it's ridiculous. Don't second guess yourself. Be you. Be genuine. People are attracted to genuine. they will know if you're faking it, and they know when you don't have confidence. And my confidence was never not in the product, and it was never not in the business. It was in me and my ability to take it to the next level. But they don't know that. People don't know that. So quit second guessing yourself. I'm looking at you. All these faces. Okay. Okay, so.
And I just wanted to add something really quick. You know, you can be going through things in life. Everybody has rough times. I mean, I think I'm a pretty strong testament to that. You cannot let those things hold you back. I didn't get to work the way that I wanted to this summer. At the beginning of the summer, I had huge plans for our summer. We were traveling to the East Coast, and I was going to blitz the entire way, and I was going to be a signing machine and all these things. In my mind, I was like, yes, I'm getting to presidential in a month, and it's going to happen. And it didn't, because God had other plans, and my time, I feel, was better spent with somebody that needed me. And my kids were able to see their mom care for somebody that needed them. My husband needed me to care for his mother. So did I rock it out this summer? No, not even close. Not even like a tiny bit amount. Not at all. But what I did do is, when I was able to get out of the house, I had a knit work shirt on. I feel like, just an FYI, I feel like nobody in California knows anything about It Works. Please don't go like bombard all your California friends, but I feel like nobody knows anything, because I've already got the Bay Area covered, so stay away from there. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, people would come over to visit, and they would ask me questions like, oh my gosh, it's so nice of you to be here this whole time. How are you? Like, don't you have a job? Or I'm like, well, I work from home. Oh, well, it's so nice that your husband can be here too. Doesn't he have a job? No, well, you know, he's retired. Well, how did you guys do that? And so that just opened the door for me to tell them. And no, I wasn't like using my mother-in-law's illness to like sneak my business in there, because that would just be wrong. Although she would laugh at that.
But we know what you mean.
What?
I said, but we get what you mean.
You have to use those moments to put yourself out there. If somebody asks you how you're doing or what's been going on in your life, don't just be like, oh, I'm good. Find a way. Oh my gosh, I'm great. I found this new business, or we started this new product, or I'm using this, you know, skincare line, you know, whatever. Use it to your advantage. Because I'm signing a distributor tomorrow here because of it. Yeah, my first one in like months because I felt stuck. And that's what I was telling Bethany. I was like, I don't know how to like jumpstart to get back into my business, because I felt torn. And I won't lie, I felt guilty posting anything about my business while my mother-in-law was sick.
Yeah.
I'll just be honest. I'll put it all out there right now. I felt like, how can you possibly promote your business while this woman is laying here, you know, facing death? It just didn't feel right. I couldn't do it. And it killed me. And so you probably noticed, my team, you probably noticed I didn't post a lot over the summer because I felt so conflicted about it. But even my mother-in-law would say, well, don't let me stop you from running, you know, your business. I love that you've brought my son home to be with his family. I love that. I love that my grandkids have their father home with them. So please do not let me hold you back. And so, of course, I cried, and I was just like, but I can't, you know. It was a really tough moment. But I've really had to get back into it, and I just didn't know how. I felt stuck. And so I was like, Bethany, I need help. I don't know how to do this. You know, and I do know how to do it. I just needed, I guess, to feel reinvigorated and feel like my team was there. And like, I don't know how to explain it, but if you're going through something, find somebody, whether it's a sideline sister or upline, downline, somebody that can be there to encourage you along the way. Because I'm telling you, there were days I would like, Bethany, I can't do this anymore. It's horrible. I like, okay. And she would go right into prayer. And that was where I needed her to go. So find that person and just feed off of them. Get from them what you need. Let them give to you. Let them feed your soul. Let you be there for them. We're all going to go through bad times. It's going to happen. There's no way around it. 100% it's going to happen. So just be prepared. If you have never experienced anything bad in your life, you're lucky, but something's going to happen at some point. So just be ready. Do not let that hold you back, because I could have quit. I could have been like, oh gosh, I can't keep going. I can't. But no, I have to keep going. I have to keep going because of this. Because I know something else may come along and I'm going to need to be there. And this business provides that for me, for my kids, for my husband, for my mother who's on this video chat. You are worth it. You're worth the time that you're putting in. So please do not give up just because things get hard. Okay, I'm off my soapbox.
Preach. Okay. So you guys, we're going to run over just a little bit, and I hope that's okay. Anybody who needs to jump off straight up at the hour, this is being recorded, and I will load to YouTube and give Dana the recording. But okay, so little bit of background, but there's a point. Okay, 3 years ago, I was super fit. I was ripped. I was confident. I loved being in front of and around people because I felt comfortable in my skin. I was proud of what I had done, and I wanted to show people that they could do it too. Okay. Fast forward, I went triple. Things got a little bit crazy. I stopped focusing on me so much. And somewhere in the last year and a half or so, maybe 2 years, I guess, I don't know how long it took me, but I've put on 40 pounds. Okay. And that's stupid, awful, like ridiculous. I hated it. I got to the point where I wasn't enjoying being around people. I definitely didn't want to be up in front of people. I was not really excited to talk about these health products because I knew I wasn't doing for myself what I needed to be doing. My husband may come run me out of our bedroom, and so I'll have to pause my video and go to the living room. But if you do, just bear with me. Okay, so for the last year, it's been try to figure out why I can't lose weight, all this, and it's been ridiculous. And I just keep gaining weight instead of losing. All right. And I would go into the gym and it would be lackluster. I wasn't super excited to be there. I wasn't super focused. Okay. So a couple of months ago, I was having a conversation with a friend, and I was like, there's this thing that I've always wanted to do. Always. And I just don't even think I really can. And he's like, why can't you? Just do it. And in that instant, I went, okay, I'm going to be a competitive athlete because I can. And I found myself waking up earlier just to get to the gym because I was focused. My nutrition is on point because I'm focused. I have a goal. And all that changed, I haven't registered for a contest. I haven't done anything except decide I was going to. The power is in your deciding. As long as you aren't convinced you can, you're never gonna, because everything else is gonna draw you away. But that day I decided, something changed. People noticed that I was walking differently. I carried myself differently. I was behaving differently. Okay. So whatever you're wanting to get to, say you're trying to go Ruby. All right. Don't say that anymore. You're not trying to go Ruby. I am going Ruby. Decide you're doing it.
Yes.
Carry yourself like a Ruby. Do the things that rubies do. Do the things that diamonds do if that's where you're trying to go. If you're trying to go double, do the things that double diamonds do. Heck, if you've got big dreams and you're going all the way to ambassador, you freaking act like an ambassador diamond now. Decide you're going to go do it. Because in that deciding, you get your power back. God's got big plans for you. It might not be ambassador diamond, and that's okay. But act like you already are what you want to be. And that sounds kind of all over the place, but I think you see what I'm trying to say. Okay. Personal development, Dana already talked about. I want to encourage you guys to get the book, The Miracle Morning. I'm going to start going through this. The YouTube I was watching highlighted this, and I had already had it, and it's just time for me to read it. But one of the girls on her team, she was a double and her husband was a double. She read Miracle Morning and started implementing the strategies for focus and time management. And she took both of their accounts from double to presidential in 3 months. I'm not saying that's going to happen for you. God might have something else, but that's what's possible when you focus and you have a plan. Okay. The Miracle Morning for Network Marketers by Hal Elrod and Pat Petrini. I'll find a link and post it with you guys. But personal development is key. Like Dana already said, you're never going to go up until you work on yourself first. And then the last thing before we go, you guys, you have to come to one of two conclusions. You are either so sick of where you are right now that you're fixing to change it, or you are so inspired by what you can become that you decide to change it. It's one of those two. That's what's going to create change. You're either so sick of where you are, or you're so inspired by where you could go, or it could be both. You're sick of it and you know you can be better. That's what's going to create change. So now you have the opportunity to create basically a grand reopening tonight. Okay. Imagine your It Works business is now under new management. You are a new person. You are not the person you were before you came on this call. Okay. You have learned something. You are better. You are wiser. You are stronger, and you are ready to fight. Your It Works business is under new management. You get to make it anything you want to be now. And you have all of us to help you do it. I'm super excited to see where all this is going to take us. I know I am now under new management, and I'm really excited about that. Dana, do you have anything you want to add before we close it up?
No, I think we've covered everything. Like I said, don't let the fact that maybe something has happened hold you back. Like Bethany said, you're under new management. I feel like she was talking directly to me. I don't know about the rest of you, but I feel like she's put that in there just for me. But you just have to put yourself out there, get yourself refocused. And I'm kind of talking to myself while I'm saying this stuff. And already I've been trying to think of, okay, what am I going to say to relaunch my business? So do that. And don't, like I said, don't compare yourself to anybody else. This is your business. It's your journey. And trust me when I say I've done that. I've compared myself to other people. It leads you nowhere. It isn't going to propel you to a further rank or anything like that. All it's going to do is build up animosity and anger, and you're just not going to feel good about yourself. So don't do that. Focus on you and what your business is doing and stay there. Just be that. go all over trying to, worry about what everybody else is doing.
Amen.
Kind of like you tell your kids, worry about you. Don't worry about your.
Worry about yourself. Worry about yourself. Okay. I love you guys. This is going to
and that's pretty much it. I'm so super happy that you were on here.
Sorry, I cut you off.